Good day, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Concert Halls. I'm Anna Ospinskaya, and I'll be your host today. We are a classical music channel providing live performances and connecting musicians now around the entire globe. Today we're presenting the finals of Sound Espressiva competition, born during the pandemic as a way forward for performing artists to keep music alive. Sound Espressiva competition is created by a large community of international musicians. Now, for 2 days, today and tomorrow, we will broadcast performances of 41 musicians, contestants from around the world, with judges providing immediate feedback to each musician on air. Please stay tuned. Join our live broadcasts, comment, share events on social networks, give contestants your encouragement. Please give contestants your cheers. They competed for months through several rounds of these competitions. And please vote. We welcome audience input. Vote for your favorite finalist, who will receive James Adler Audience Favorite Award. Now, our mission is to empower musicians with new tools, enrich with new thinking, expand horizons of what's possible, what can work, what can be a source of a great joy and success for a modern performing artist. We support raising modern musicians, instilling what it takes to be devoted, to be diverse, to be engaged, to be successful. Sound Espressiva online competition is where musicians present their talent, their practice, their individuality. The international panel of judges connects with contestants in real time and provides feedback. Please give contestants your cheers. Please vote. Please put your comments in. We'll bring your comments on screen. It's the greatest joy for musicians to see that they're being appreciated for the great work they do. Sound Espressiva competition is an opportunity to engage, for the audience to engage with the artists, for the artists to engage with audience. Now, with modern tools, we can do that across the barriers, across the geographic barriers and other barriers. We present the competition and musicians in real-time performances with modern-day technical environment. They will be reviewed and guided by respected judges from around the world. Sound Espressiva is bringing the future of the music industry and technology to the artists, to educators, and to everyone, to the audience of today. Founded and managed by professional musicians, Sound Espressiva competition aims to empower every artist of every instrument and of all walks of life. And now I will be introducing the judges. Today we have a fabulous panel, and please welcome on stage guitarist Pierre Beaudry, who performs throughout the world. Welcome, Pierre. It's such a great pleasure to see you. You have an extensive career, performance career, which takes you throughout Europe, North America, China, Southeast Asia. You're a world man, and you give solo performances to acclaimed public, and you're acclaimed by press. You've been on many music faculties, 3 universities in Quebec alone, and recently you were appointed as a professor of guitar at the Tiziano Rossetti International Music Academy in Lugano, Switzerland. You're everywhere on the map. Welcome. Such a great pleasure to have you.
Hello, it's really great. It's really great to be here. I'm really honored, and I'm really looking forward to hearing these talents.
Thank you. And next I would like to introduce Anzel Gerber, a cellist coming to us from Vienna. Welcome, Anzel. Such a great pleasure to have you back on the panel.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And you are performing also on internationally renowned stages as a soloist, as a chamber musician, and your passion for teaching served an inspiration to obtain your PhD and conduct postdoctoral research in the field of cello training for gifted young cellists, and that's in Asia, USA, and Europe. Again, you're one woman spreading yourself all over the world. And you recently presented master classes in many universities and festivals. So thank you.
Yes,
It's
I
an
really
honor to.
enjoy also sharing my passion for being on stage and to communicate with an audience, to also share that passion with my students. And it's wonderful to be here today and to hear new talents. And I'm so happy that we can also, through you, offer them this opportunity. And we look forward to hearing how they communicate with us and to all the audiences online. So we're very much looking forward to hearing them.
Thank you. And welcome on stage Adrianne Greenbaum. She's a professor of flute and a pioneer of klezmer flute tradition. Welcome, Adrianne. It's such an honor to have you with us. And you're a nationally acclaimed flutist and clinician performing on historic instruments of the 18th and 19th century. But you're a classical trained flutist, and you perform with orchestras and in variety of settings. Everywhere. You're one of the most finest and hailed flutists of your time. I'm so honored to have you. Welcome here.
And I'm honored to be here. It's quite a thrill to hear young talent of, really of any age. And I've been fortunate to explore lots of avenues in the flute world, and I also play a fair amount of piano. So I've entered into harpsichord and that kind of thing, and it's just been a wonderful journey. And just as Anzel just said, I enjoy my teaching equally to performing. And by performing, you can inform your students a little better what it's like to finish a product. And
to present it to the live audience, yeah. So
right.
this is incredible to have such diversity of activities that you do and share the experience.
Thank you.
Let's invite on. Yeah, thank you for being with us. Let's invite on stage Kelly Hall-Tompkins, and welcome, Kelly. It's a great pleasure and honor to have you. You're a winner of Hamburg International Violin Competition honorary prize, and you're featured in Smithsonian Museum for African American History. You're a founder of a phenomenal initiative, the Music Kitchen, which we all admire. It's an amazing project. And you're also a violin soloist and entrepreneur. And one of my favorite things about your biography, you're acclaimed by New York Times New Yorker of the Year. And you are Fiddler on the Roof for the Tony-nominated and Grammy-nominated Broadway production of Fiddler on the Roof. You are the fiddler.
Indeed. Thank you so much, and it's really great to be back as a judge of Sound Espressivo. And as an entrepreneur myself, I really appreciate the creation of this worldwide project that explores the talents of young people around the world. So really excited to be back and to join my fellow judges, and looking forward to hearing some great performances today.
Thank you, Kelly. It's a great pleasure and honor to have you. Let's invite on stage Stephen Stirling, who's a renowned horn player and joining us from the United Kingdom. You're from London right now, right? Welcome, Stephen. Yeah, since studying at the Royal Northern College of Music, you studied with E4 James and Julian Baker. You worked mostly in the rarefied world of chamber music. I like how you put it in your bio, rarefied world. And you enjoy enormously varied career and traveling all over the world. I don't even want to start naming the countries you visited. And so welcome. It's a great pleasure to have you join us and add your perspective to the judging panel.
Well, it's a great pleasure. This is my first experience of virtual concert halls. I've been fascinated throughout lockdown by all the different technologies that are starting to be developed to deal with distant and remote performing. So I'm very, very interested from that point of view. Also, of course, a large part of what I do is teaching and masterclassing, and that's, I think, for all of us is such an important part of what we do to nurture talents. And for me, it's important to pass on the wonderful things I learned from people like Niklaus Harnoncourt and Jean Dorveg and Alexander Schneider, people who influenced me greatly. So I think passing on that tradition is terribly important.
Oh yeah, so important, and that's what the contestants are looking for. They're looking for enriching experience, and that's what you're going to be bringing to them today. And last but not least, let's welcome on stage Massimiliano Donninelli, and he's one of the most renowned international conductors. Collaborated with many orchestras. Welcome, Massimiliano. It's such a great pleasure to have you with us. And you're hailing from Italy to us. You recorded extensively a lot of classical and modern, newly written music, and you were featured on many radio stations. And I have a whole list in here. Let me try. Telequattro, Radio Vaticana, RAI, UN Radio Discovery Channel, Radio Shalom, Radio Moldova, Radio France. Welcome.
A lot of radios.
A lot of radios are playing your recordings, and it's such a great honor and pleasure to have you and to be able to provide contestants with the perspective of a conductor. Hopefully the contestants will be your soloists and other conductors' soloists. It's important for them to know what a conductor, how conductor views their performances. Welcome.
Welcome to everybody. Welcome, Anna. Thank you very much for Sound Espressivo to have this opportunity to be with you. It's an honor for me. It's a great pleasure. Thank you very much to everybody.
Wonderful. Are we all ready to hear the first contestant? Yes. All right. The first group, the age group is 26 and older. These are professional musicians looking for development of their careers and for the feedback, which will help them present themselves the best for really wide audience. And I'm terribly honored and very much looking forward to hearing our first contestant who is opening this two-day marathon of 6 sessions, Maria Naroditska. She's a pianist from Ukraine and Germany. She was nominated in the artistic category Musical Ambassador. And we will be welcoming on stage Maria. Best of luck to you.
that was a great performance. You're a wonderful musician. I like it so much. And you always put music first. Your technique never comes over the music. It's really supporting your musical ideas, and I think that's really important. It's really nice. You're really complete. And your song is really good. And I really like the repeats in the Schubert because you made them so different. And it was really poetical, lyrical. And the Mussorgsky, wow, that was like you making images, pictures in fact, images with your song. The way you manipulate the song makes images coming, like children running, the old castle, and so all of that was really wonderful. You are really in control, and I think that piece, the picture of exhibition, is supposed to be extremely difficult. But really, when you play it, it's like it looks like it's easy. So you really are in control, and you're putting the music first, and it's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it was really a wonderful performance. It's for me, it's such a pleasure also to hear the entire works being performed. And I also think that you're a great artist. I could also hear the music first, and that's very, very important for me. Especially, I enjoyed so much all the slower parts within the Mussorgsky as well. Especially the ox cart and the catacombs, and you create such a depth in your sound. And I also like it very much when you are playing forte, that it's not hammered. You have that great warmth in the sound, so it's wonderful to hear that. And also the contrasting parts I enjoyed very much. I think the children's Quarrel, the number 3, and also the chicks, the ballet of the chicks, and also the marketplace, I enjoyed that as well. But I think even there you can perhaps through the even more articulation and almost that lightness within that crisp sound, I think there you can even bring out the character, for my taste, even more. But I enjoyed your overall performance so much, and I think it's always wonderful to also see in an artist that you have that entire picture of this composition as a whole in your mind, and to transmit that. And it was wonderful to hear you doing that also, and you have a wonderful sound, and I would always it's wonderful to hear that you control it so beautifully. It was really touching also, especially the slower parts I enjoyed so much. And I think as an artist you must always stay true to who you are, but I think in some ways I think you could even be more present, especially in the faster parts, where you can almost get that joy and that quarrel of the children, and those textures I think can be even more clearly projected in the brilliant parts, I would say. But it was a great performance. I enjoyed it very much, and thank you very much for giving us also that pleasure of listening to the entire works. The Schubert was wonderful. I think in the Schubert, it's very special always, Schubert, yes, you know, and I think there a very refined articulation or phrasing is obviously very important. Sometimes I thought that the pedaling could be even more refined. In some parts it was almost blending a bit to my taste, but I enjoyed it very much, your performance, and go on and keep working and keep refining your artistry, and I really hope to hear you more in future as well.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I really, really enjoyed all of it. I was bordering on amazed. I don't love the overuse of that word, but it was amazing to me that you could both connect and separate the individual movements of the first set. I like to call them sets. And the change of colors really not only made them different, but connected them. And going from one to the other also was a wonderful connection. And with the pictures, I'm an orchestral player, so of course every time the flute parts came, I mean, of course I'm speaking in reverse, but the colors there were just wonderful, and in handling all the technique, as the others said, you had the music taking first place, and yet you didn't have to, in a sense, make it so, because your technique is wonderful. Those octaves, I'm used to hearing more flaws in those. The only thing I would have liked, and its taste, is Baba Yaga, maybe a little more grotesque. I've always thought of that character as being grotesque, and I will probably want to go and look at the score to see whether the eighth note bump bump dee da 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 bump bump, whether it's bump bump or bump bump. To me, you almost made it nice, and I never thought of those chicken legs and being other than grotesque. So I will be looking at the score just for curiosity. Just wonderful, wonderful playing and connection of character, finesse, and the technique itself. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Maria Tsebulo Kraseva, thank you for letting me dust off my Ukrainian a bit. That was a wonderful performance. Just everything about it was so communicative. I love that your playing is very clear, has a lot of clarity, overall intent, and the feel. I love that you have such an intrinsic harmonic understanding of the harmonic language, and you bring that through the drama of the music. I think for me overall, I could use a deeper sense of contrast with the finger legato in your playing, especially from the Schubert side in the beginning. I'd say more the beginning of the performance and the Schubert. I think that there was a little bit more of the percussive aspect of the repetitive passages and not quite as much of the finger legato and the lyricism and the overall legato. But I could see as you got further into the performance, and especially with the Mussorgsky, that is such a feature of your playing and of your psyche, of the zeitgeist of your performance. Music is first for you, and I think that I can hear how that the drama and the tension becomes very informed by touch later in your performance, and more so in the Mussorgsky than in the Schubert. I think, as Anzel mentioned, I would love a little bit more of the refinement of your ideas in the Schubert, the things that you start to bring out so compellingly and so beautifully in the Mussorgsky. But just overall, you are such a great artist. You're very communicative about the music, and technique becomes very secondary to what you're trying to say, which is always what it should be. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I wish you great success.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I was captivated for every moment of the Mussorgsky, I must say. I admire enormously your commitment, and your concentration is absolute as an audience who was sort of sitting there with you all the time, because it was so focused. I wonder about, this is new to me, this medium, and in a concert platform you would somehow communicate a bit with the audience in some shape or form beforehand. And this is not a criticism in any shape, but if you're performing online, I wonder in what way you might think about just acknowledging the camera in some way or other before you play. It helps somehow create a little link with the player. As I say, this is as new to me as it might be to you, I don't know. In terms of musicianship, I felt it in the Schubert. I'm a French horn player, and I play most of my life inside harmonies and inside rhythms, and I wanted a little bit more attention, things like offbeats, where there's always a response to a downbeat, or somehow a repeated internal rhythm needs always to be a reaction to something else that's happened, and I felt a little bit more of that would have been nice to hear. And the other thing in Mussorgsky, which was, as I say, it was a fantastic performance. There are a few corners where I felt you could have taken a little bit more time, just for the tiny fast notes to speak a little more, and I felt that you could maybe think about giving a little bit more space to those corners. But it was very, very exciting playing. It was fantastic. I'd like to echo what the previous judges have said. It was very captivating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Maria, congratulations. You did a great performance. And I guess just to make a probably bigger contrast between Schubert and Mussorgsky. I think that your Mussorgsky was really good, in the right mood, so expressive. He took care so well to the dynamics. This expressed very well, very good concentration, communicative. So I think that it was really good. Good articulations, but anyway, in Schubert, I probably because you are so well in Mussorgsky, probably you have the opportunity to make a bigger contrast between the both. Schubert was a very fragile person, very lonely composer. So in a way, very romantic, but with a very soft and sweet, fragile, tender mind. Probably because you expressed it so well, Mussorgsky, you I think can express better Schubert in that ways. It means that you can play really, you can be really inside to the score. That's very good for a player. You can express the mind and the identity of a score and of a composer. And probably Schubert, you can go closer to the mind of Schubert, of this score specifically, and you can play bigger contrast that is probably could be interesting for your performances. Just as a little suggestion, but really I like it very much. I appreciate it very much. Your playing, your feeling, your musicality. Please, congratulations. I was talking in French. Bravo, Maria.
I want to give another round of applause for this phenomenal program to Maria, and thank you, judges, for all your comments. Maria, would you like to ask any questions? If you have any comments, or would you like to learn a bit more from the judges? This is your opportunity, please.
Thank you. I think it was quite clear, actually. Thank you for the feedback.
Wonderful. Thank you. And we will be transitioning to our next contestant, the finalist. And I just would like, for those who are joining us just now, to remind you this is the live performances of musicians from around the world. We just heard Ukrainian and German pianist, and we will be moving to a musician from Russia. These are finals of Sound Espressivo global competition. Musicians competed for months through the rounds of the competition. This is the climax, the last chance for them to compete for the top prizes. And the Sound Espressivo competition is offering a completely new format. International panel of judges is giving immediate feedback, and you heard the judges taking stage and sharing their experience and their recommendations for the finalists. And the Sound Espressivo competition also welcomes musicians to perform in the rounds of the competitions on their terms. There's no time restriction, no time limit, and the repertoire is chosen by the contestants themselves in order to represent their unique artistry in the best way possible. We'll be moving on to the next performer in the age group 26 and older. These are professional musicians competing on stage. The next group, unfortunately, was unable to perform as a group because of the COVID situation currently. These are musicians from Russia, from Moscow, and the Roza Yacova duo and the Moskver Klezmer Kapelye ensemble will be represented by one of their members. Welcome on stage, Alexei Rozov. And the first group was nominated in the artistic category of miniature. That's Roza Yacova duo. And the Moskver Klezmer Kapelye ensemble was nominated in the lyrical category. And as I said, this fine musician will be representing both groups which were chosen to be finalists. So let's please welcome on stage Alexei Rozov, and the stage is all yours. Take it away from us.
Good morning and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I am here alone instead on a group of 2 and a group of 4 musicians. And in that case, I will perform at all musical instruments I'm able to play on stage. And let me introduce you the deepest and widest world of klezmer music and of musical culture of Yiddishkeit, of Ashkenazic Jews.
a phenomenal performance. We were hearing and watching one a member of the two ensembles, which both were selected to be finalists in this competition, and that is Roza Yacova duo and Moskver Klezmer Kapelye. And we are going to give everyone, the audience and the judges, a chance to taste a little bit of what the group sounds like when they're able to perform all together. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they were unable to get together today, and so they had a lone representative playing for the entire group. So let's hear just a few moments, very short, brief clip from their performance as a group. They were nominated in the lyrical category.
So, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great, great concert. Great playing. You alone, you really, even you played so well. You are a great violinist. Great violinist. I love this musical tradition. I know very well because I work a lot with Jewish communities in Italy, in France. I wrote music for theater production dedicated to the text by Colette V is Yosel Rakover Talks to God. Is a very famous text, and I wrote the music for this uh, theater production and performed the music then. So wonderful, wonderful playing, wonderful group. This music is full of emotions, so inspired, so uh, warm, and what can I say? It was a really great pleasure to listen you alone and your group, and I can say only that it was a really great moment. I spent a great moment, great time to listen you. Thank you very much to listen your group, and the songs are so beautiful, are so full of a kind of human passion, human being, as is always a declaration uh, as kind of between a prayer, a declaration of love to the life, to the universe. So thank you very much. I hope to listen you soon, to meet you soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this wonderful performance. I really enjoyed it thoroughly. Even when you were playing on your own, I thought it was a very engaging performance. You have a very strong power to communicate with your audience, and I really enjoyed that very much. And I could also sense your virtuosity as a violinist. It's wonderful to portray it in so many ways, and also to communicate all the different emotions in this music, from that sadness and that yearning and all the way through to have that immense joy and that energy in your performance. And I could already sense that in your solo performance, but it was also wonderful to hear the group as a whole. I think the group also, you match so well together, all the musicians, they just, the sense of ensemble, the sense of energy, and that moments where you really interact with one another, it really makes it a very, very engaging performance, and you really captivate your listener. And I really hope for you that more people will hear you soon, and live on many stages, also across the world more, when we can travel hopefully again soon. But it was really for me also a very engaging performance, and also with your other musicians. I also wish you all of the best, and thank you for sharing your music with us, and also for being such a good ambassador for klezmer music. It's wonderful to hear that, and it's so good to also see that klezmer music is more performed nowadays, and also that our audience members can engage with that music more often. And I really hope that through this competition you will also get more opportunity to share that with more people. Thank you.
Truly, truly, Basiltov, wonderful. I also lived at least half my life as a klezmer, and thoroughly enjoyed both your solo performance and the ensemble. With the solo, you know, I guess envious. I'm a klezmer flutist, and also I comp on accordion and keyboard. But as a flutist, we indicate our harmonies with the clefs and whatever arpeggiations we can. You did just a wonderful job of including all the harmonies all by yourself, so tastefully. There was one curious question I have. Let's see, what key did you play? Here in the US, we call that a Hasidic niggin, and I don't think it has any more title to it. But in the second section, now this is where regional differences are curious to all of us, klezmorim. So you chose the half step, the G sharp, and I learned it way back. And both of them, sort of are borderline. Do you personally make choices as you go, because that could be a choice, or is that deep rooted? Every time I sing a song from my past, they say, "Oh, Adrianne, that's from Russia, the Soviet Union, we sang it first, we had it first, we knew it first." So with this, what do you respond?
I've got this tune more than 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago on Klezfests.
Okay.
Perhaps in St. Petersburg, perhaps in Kiev, perhaps somewhere else, perhaps in London, perhaps in later in Weimar. I don't remember when and where. And I felt that I don't remember exact what is that tune. I don't remember how it was exact listened by me at the first 20 years ago, or 15 or 10. I don't remember.
Right.
Just I felt that G sharp is more klezmer, more gives more tension to this tune.
It's almost the opposite effect of what I have, but that's interesting. Also, that you've experienced Klezfest, and the people in Weimar who I trust, and it's always good to lock in. It's always interesting to find in old manuscripts surprises. We're looking at the old informants and going, wait, you did it that way, and realizing that 100 years later we've managed to play telephone. That's the way we say it here in the States. With the ensemble, I loved everything. And the
Tyre, Adrianne, let me say a few words to you. Sorry. Could I say a few words? Because I took this niggin from my memory, and perhaps it has been changed inside me. And I know also that in different areas of Jewish settlement, sometimes they played the same tune in several differences.
Sure.
And maybe I'm not sure that it is a right way what I play. I'm not sure it could be a wrong way. I don't know. I felt that moment this way.
Right.
And you could have even made, that I interrupt you.
No. You could have even made the change within your performance. That would totally, because it's an ornamental note. It's really and then well, I was just tell me whether you played the same hora in your solo as you did in the ensemble. Tell me it was different. It was a different one.
It was different because the hora I played solo has been written by Evgeny Khazdan, by musical director of Klezfest in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
and
So
Hora.
that
Sorry.
answers my question. That answers my question because it was different. And I know so many horrors, but not that one. And I wanted to know, where it was from, who informed it, or where, if it was Baragovsky or whatever. And then I just have an idea for you. Clearly you are the leader of the ensemble. And I was wondering, the clarinetist, when you started, you told him to please go down the octave.
Yeah.
Because, you wanted to enter into that octave, and that would have, not given the depth. And it's interesting. I mean, I do a lot of leading that way, and you have to sort of position yourself. Do I want to show the audience that I would prefer something else? I don't know what to say about that, but it certainly, caught my attention and made my head, turn. He prefers that. And, I've been told that sometimes keep my damn mouth shut, or stop the leading, for the audience. They don't know this. So, it was just a curiosity. And lastly, an idea of that solo moment of taking the dance rhythm out, and you stopped everybody. What about doing your solo as more like a taksim over bump, 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 and you go wild over that. That seems to be a tradition here in the States of what to do with a solo moment that you want to do freer, but then keep, if we're dancing, and obviously, you would probably play differently if it were for dancing, then you could keep the feet moving and still share that wonderful moment. But anyway, bravo to all of you. It was wonderful.
Thank you, Tyra and Adrienne. I know that that way you described me, but it's mostly the way for dancers, for dancing. It was stage performance. In that case, we were more free in stopping rhythm.
Exactly. Good.
This was a reason. This was
Yes.
not for dancers, but for stage.
For stage, I understand.
Alexei, wow.
Thank you, Adrienne. Yeah,
Alexei, wow. This is music that is also very near and dear to my heart. It's a big part of my life. In the concert music version, I was the fiddler on the roof on Broadway, and I created the first ever fiddler solo album. And so I tour all over the country, the music associated with fiddler through the klezmer tradition, and it's very near and dear to me. I'm so sorry that you were not able to play with your ensemble today, but my goodness, what a wonderful, wonderful solo, what a wonderful violinist you are, what a wonderful artist you are in general. So passionate, so communicative. I I love the searching quality, the meditative quality, and the contrast, the enormous contrast with which you play. I was just going to say, I didn't realize you were actually going to work your way through all the instruments of the ensemble. As a string player, I was going to say, perhaps you could use that expressiveness throughout the bow, and you tend to restart at the frog with each expression. And I would love to see you continue more at the frog and more at the tip. And then of course you pick up the violin, and that's where the heart and soul of your artistry is born. So it's clear to see what a very fine fiddle player you are. I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and to also have a chance to see your ensemble from a previous performance was wonderful. Clearly, you're leading that ensemble, and it's tremendously creative. You play so well together. Just the contrast of the ideas and how they come forth. Bravo! I definitely hope to hear more from you and from your ensemble, and I congratulate you on a wonderful performance.
Hi. Unlike the previous judges, I have absolutely no experience of klezmer beyond hearing a little bit of it over time, and I've always enjoyed it. So I was really I was loving your violin playing, basically. I could sit and listen to you all day. It's touching, it's heartwarming, it's soulful, it's poignant. I love the colours you got in the quiet passages where the sound was very intimate, and I felt drawn to that, and I absolutely loved that. I loved the intonation, which was beautiful and sweet, and blue notes were clearly blue when they meant to be. So that was lovely. I felt as if I was sort of listening to Bach writing for klezmer, which was wonderful. The other thing, when I was listening to the group, I was particularly enjoying the internal dynamic between the two internal parts. I don't know what the name is for the accordion. I'm not sure what the type of instrument is, but the bass and the accordion. I was talking earlier to a contestant about playing offbeats as a response to downbeats, and that's evident from your group, is that every single gesture internally is very active, and I loved that feeling in the group. So I don't feel strongly qualified to comment on a klezmer group as such, but I loved it, and I loved the energy and the way it touched my soul. Thank you.
Hi, Aleska. I really love it. You are a wonderful violinist. I really love that music, this Ashkenaz music, the spirit, the sadness, and the irony at the same time, going in opposition. And I really like it. I had listened already to your group, and you are really making one together. You must have been playing for a long time. It's really, you really are interconnected. And I have more questions than comments. I want to know your solo piece on violin. Is it written on a score?
It's mostly into my head.
Okay, that's what I thought. But and then the group.
Of course, I have a basic line on notes.
I understand.
Of
And
course,
of
course, I have basic harmony written on those the same notes, but I change it on the fly sometimes.
And one day do you play different, like the ornaments? I really love the ornaments. It's really exciting to. It's different than other music. And do you improvise when you do the ornaments? Or one day you do one, another day you do another one?
Sorry, repeat your questions.
The ornaments.
A little bit slower, please.
I'm sorry. Like all the trills, the gruppettos, all these things, embellishment. I want to know if you improvise them, or they are already decided. If you improvise them, if you just go with your feeling.
There are both. There are some moments prepared, and a lot of moments are improvised.
Okay.
Because this small improvisation in ornamentics, not only in changing melody, but in ornamentic, is a part of klezmer arts. The micro variations.
I really love that.
It's a necessary part of klezmer art.
Yeah, I understand that. It's really that's a part I really like. This sense of freedom. And what I want to know also, the music you played with your group, is that music written? I think it's written. It was written by a composer, right?
They told me that all the folk music were some when written or invented by some person, but it went out from this person, and it this way gives for this tune to be a folk.
Okay, so this is more oral. Hearing
Sorry?
the transmission of the culture. is it done with? It's done more with the ears. We say oral, but no, it's not oral. It's the ears, more than music on the scores.
I know that more than 100 years ago, the most way of transmission of tunes between klezmorim was by ears. Only in the beginning of 20th century or end of 19th century, they started to transcribe it to general five string notation.
I understand.
That I know of klezmer tunes.
I think that's very interesting. And well, congratulations! I really love you playing. I'd like to hear you again. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Alexei, for a fine performance. Thank you, judges, very much for wonderful comments and for engaging and getting us all much more educated about the background and the transmission and the current tradition of the klezmer music. This is such a refined and such a complex form of music communication. We think of folk music as being something simpler than the classical music, but this definitely is not any simpler. It's very sophisticated and very varied and a very rich tradition. What a great pleasure to have this ensemble represent this tradition to us today. The Sound Espressivo competition, we are in the finals, final stages of the competition. The contestants were on it for months. International panel of judges is participating and giving live comments, and we would like to invite all the audience members to please vote for your favorite finalist. Go to soundespressivo.com website. You'll find a form there. Please make your voice heard. The winner of your audience voting will receive a prize, James Adler Audience Preference Audience Favorite Prize. And now we'll be moving on to our next contestant. We are in the age 26 and older group. These are professional musicians competing on stage for a chance to develop and improve and grow their presence and their careers. We'll be moving to John Lettieri, or accordionist from Canada, and he was nominated in the artistic category of innovative, and he will be presenting a program on accordion, and we are here to hear some more very interesting music. Enjoy it. John, please take the stage away from me.
Wow, bravo. That was so entertaining, and it was just such a joy to listen to you and to hear your artistry and to also experience that ease with the instrument and to cope with all the the extras not just behind the instrument. It was just wonderful to see your creativity, and it was so innovative and entertaining at the same time. So thank you so much for sharing your artistry with us. I'm coming from the classical side more, so I didn't understand all the detail of what you've just produced there, but it was just so wonderful. Also, how you connected the different genres, how you going over from one theme to the other. It was just wonderful how you connected that all, and how you also had that vision of creating a bridge throughout and going through all the genres and so many different styles. I love your timing for all the different this pieces. We're just putting it together, and your timing in the real classical works was just so wonderful. So in the Bach cello suite and the Liebesfreude from Kreisler, it was so wonderful also to see how you phrase it, how you create that, and also your creativity to mix sound and to be creative in so many different ways. It was wonderful and refreshing to hear your performance, and I congratulate you. It was really a wonderful performance. Bravo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm certainly in awe of all that you did. I suppose I could be also in awe of the instrument itself. I once played with an accordionist who came with this instrument and with all its abilities. And at the time, this was probably 25, 30 years ago. I must have been a stick in the mud. And I said, could you please just stick to accordion? I suppose if I had been a little more open-minded, I would have been treated to some of what you could do. You blended them so well, and it was a surprise. I enjoyed not watching you, so I could be surprised. And when the cello came in, that was amazing. Certain sounds, I mean, you programmed them well. I can't, of course, say that you created the beautiful sounds. Let's applaud the instrument. But you knew how to use them and when to use them, and you went very, very smoothly from one to the other. And I admire your ability as much as your mind that kept it all going without a hitch, or at least without a hitch that I could tell. Just bravo. Very, very, very well done and very entertaining.
Yeah, I thank you very much. I do get myself into a little bit of trouble. I have to be honest because there's a lot to remember. And at my age now, I tend to forget and I get lost in the music. And I have to remember all the time that I need to make the music and not worry so much about the technology of switching. And when I do make an error, which I do, I have to get myself around it while I'm still trying to be musical about it. And it's not that I'm trying to trick anybody or hide anything. It's just that you're playing all the notes, and then you have to make these switches with your fingers while you're playing. And sometimes you do miss a switch, like an organist, a church organist, with pulling out the stops and things. And it can interfere sometimes with what you want to do. And so you're not only practicing the music and trying to be expressive of the music, but you're also very cognizant and very aware of the orchestration, and you're like a conductor at this point where you're cueing in the sounds that you want and when you need them. And sometimes I'm not hearing the sounds that I envisioned, like you said. And so I say to myself, do I like this sound, and how am I going to get back? I basically have a map in front of me, which gives me the numbers and the stops that I'm going through. And sometimes my eye doesn't clue in at the right spot, and I might hit the incorrect stop for the sound. But sometimes it's exciting because it's very refreshing, because you get a sound that you didn't even know, and it's okay, let's see where this takes me. And so you try to work with it, and you get back to your plan that you have. And Yeah, so yeah, I appreciate your comments about that. Yeah, the instrument is a digital accordion. It produces these sounds, and what it allows an accordionist is to be able to tap into these sounds. I could have played this program on an acoustic accordion, and although it would have been enjoyable, I think there would have been something missing. And we want to try to get away from this idea that the accordion can only play certain pieces of music and it doesn't belong playing other pieces of music. And I mentioned this in the semifinal as well, is that back when MIDI technology came through, it was mainly for keyboard players, but it wasn't for accordionists. And then the guitarists were complaining and the drummers were complaining that they wanted to tap into this technology because it would give them these colors and they would be able to not have to learn a new instrument in order to tap into this technology. And so I was really pleased when Roland came out with this accordion, because as an accordionist, my passion is for accordion playing. It gave me another tool, another expressive instrument that I could express my voice. And it allowed me, I kind of, you've heard the expression that when you're playing a piece of music, you have to put in your mind the feeling of playing a violin or the feeling of playing a guitar. And so I have the guitar sound and I'm able to express it as a guitarist rather than an accordionist playing a guitar piece of music.
Right, that all shows musicianship. So thank you very much for showing so much musicianship.
Thank you very much.
Hi, John. What a beautiful performance. I actually spend a lot of my life, like the last group, I spent a lot of my life traveling with an accordion player, my fiddler program, my solo fiddler program that I play with accordion, bass, and guitar. So I've spent a lot of my life in the last 6 or 7 years playing with accordion. This is a level beyond I'm known as an artist that pushes boundaries in genres. You have no boundaries. I mean, this is like, Doctors Without Borders. This is music without borders. As a person who just adores the classical canon and all of the music beyond that, I appreciate it so much from that level. I love your voicing and orchestration, which I'm thankful that you gave us a little bit of a window into how that is done. I was wondering if you incorporated a looper at all, but I see now that you have just a digital accordion allows those sounds. So that's great. One question I have is, just for curiosity, how many pieces are represented? Do you actually know?
I think
From
there
like
are
Strauss to
about
Carmina Burana, like all of
25 pieces of music that I tap into. And sometimes I will, in the middle of it, because of the feeling, and you're in that moment, as you know, as an artist, you somehow hear something and you go into another piece of music from there. It's just
right.
so fitting, and I find it interesting to bridge these pieces of music, and that's how I put the routine together. I start with one piece of music that I'd like to play, and then as I'm working through it, it takes me to another piece of music, and I find it just smoothly goes into that. And then I have to fiddle around with sound selection and maybe change a key. And even this week, it's when I introduced the Adagio, because I just heard it on the internet, and I said, what a beautiful piece. I have to put this in. I just have to put this in. And I think it was Thursday of this week, I managed to find a spot in the routine that I think it would work, and I put it just before Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and it just was so fitting. To put that particular, and that high C that I'm holding is just hanging there for a few seconds, and it's an emotional
I knew exactly
moment.
where you were going with that. My brain already knew where you were going when I heard that.
You did. Oh, that's great.
I knew you were going into Barber. I would say I love that. It's your mind is filled. It is filled to the brim with color and imagination, and I love that. You have it seems silly in the beginning. I started talking about, you have a great facility in your right hand and in your left hand as well. And I think that this piece that you've created, it's a remarkable arrangement. It's a tour de force in terms of your talent and your ability. If I had one criticism, I would say compositionally, it goes way beyond, like the moments that are introductory musically, and the moments that explore, and the moments that could rush us to a finish happen so many times that compositionally I feel like it goes too far. But it's a tour de force that is an incredible display of your imagination, your color, and your ability. So I would love to hear more from you, and I just say congratulations on a wonderful performance. Just
Th-
really, really spectacular.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hi. Well, that was a highly entertaining half hour or so of music. It was an amazing just journey around so many tunes that we all know and love so much. I was asking myself lots of questions about how the instrument actually produce a sound. I mean, I realise that the sound is altered digitally and through MIDI files and this kind of thing, but what is the actual thing that's producing the vibration in the first place? Are there reeds inside the instrument, or is it all electronic?
There are no reeds. It's that the technology actually produces the sound. Some of
Okay.
the sounds are. The Roland technology is slightly different than other technologies that do a similar thing with synthesizers. As it actually creates the sound in the moment, and it's stored on the instrument, and you're able to tap these particular sounds. You're able to layer other sounds on top of it to produce multi-instruments, and you can control the volume of each of those instruments that you layer on top. But there are no reeds, and it's touch sensitivity, and the bellows actually are sensitive, that when you do apply more air pressure, the computer actually calculates that pressure that you're putting with the bellows and will add it to the sound that you're producing. Now, not all sounds allow for that. Some of the sounds do not. It has a myriad, a variety of accordions, from Scottish accordions to Italian accordions and different accordions, French musette accordions that are there, and you can add the double bass and a guitar sound. This model here is one model lower than the upper model, and the upper model is the 8X. I'm playing the 7X. The 8X has an even more sensitive bellowing, which allows you to play even quieter and more sensitive to the sound, and it offers so many more different sounds that this instrument does not offer.
So my question is, to interrupt, what is the function of the bellows? I mean, on an original accordion, they control volume and all sorts of things, but what's actually being changed when you use the bellows here?
The bellows actually send air pressure. The computer feels that pressure, and it computes it, and it will add it to the sound that you're playing, coupled with the pressure of the fingers that you're applying to the keyboard or the bass buttons.
Well, I take my hat off to you for the sheer amount of different things you have to control at once. It's quite extraordinary. Are you playing entirely by ear? Is this?
Well, I play by ear, and I also read music, and what I do is some of the pieces are I have learned by ear and never have seen the music for it, and so I just pick it up because I like the melody, and I pick up on the harmony. Sometimes I'll write out a lead sheet, so for future reference, because I do tend to forget, but yeah, and some of it is actually written out, yes.
Okay.
But I've memorized it.
I see, I understand. My last question is, do you have original music written for your instrument?
Yes, there are numerous world-class composers that have written for the instrument, solo pieces as well as ensemble pieces, as well as orchestral concertos. And I do play new music. That's what I studied at the University of Toronto. And I studied with Joseph Maciarolo, a world-class artist and musician and educator. And So I have played pieces of music by Armory Schafer, the great Canadian composer, and other composers, world-class composers, and specifically written for the instrument. Joseph was one of those pioneer accordionists which took the time to visit with composers and offered them an opportunity to write for the instrument. And so a nice library of pieces of music has been created where you have duets for accordion and guitar, violin, quartets, so many pieces of music, and we're so fortunate. And then there are so many other composers writing for the instrument, so it has quite a nice library of repertoire.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, John. That was wonderful. And you are a master of your instrument. And it's really interesting when you're talking about how the technology of your instrument is functioning, because it must really help you to make the incredible transitions that you have been making like magic. Because in French we call that a potpourri. So an incredible potpourri, a medley, a mixture of heteroclite pieces that shouldn't fit together. And you make them fit together in such a skillful way. It's like magic. We couldn't think that it would be possible to put. I mean, your transition from the prelude from Bach to I don't remember what after was really stunning. And also I found that you have sure the songs are already defined, but you have a very good taste in your choice of sounds, and it's really incredible. Actually, I don't know if there's something that this instrument cannot imitate. It's I mean, from voice, guitar with some bang, and it's really incredible. And so yeah, I like it very much, and it's very creative. And do you have composers writing for music for you?
I don't have composers writing for me. I wish that I did. I really haven't approached composers. I did do some world premieres of pieces that included the accordion, and I was invited to participate. But specifically written, dedicated to me, no, I have not had any composers.
Sometimes it's good to contact them and to try, because I think with such wonderful playing, you could be really surprised about the answers you would get.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So really, congratulations, and I wish to hear you again. I heard already you in the semi-finals. And so I knew what I was expecting, and it was where you played as well as in the semi-final. Both performances were wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, very, very, very good performance. So you can do what you want with this kind of technology and with kind of solution. Well, the music that you've chosen is wonderful. The potpourri, the mixing, I think it works very well. The links between a score and another is so different. Opera, pop, folk, so great potpourri. That's good. I think that is a little bit strange for me is sometimes the sound, especially for about the bass side, is sometimes too electronic, like old electronic, like 80 years electronic. Some moments I thought that this kind of sound it works very well with the Clockwork Orange by Stanley Kubrick, where there is a synthetic version of Beethoven and that's very, in a way, it's very interesting. It's very, obviously, your performance is wonderful, but sometimes it was almost with sounds too old electronic for me, specifically the bass side. The bass side. Sometimes it was too with a kind of irony. It's not so it's strange. But the music and your performance is wonderful. Absolutely, it could be really a typical way to propose the accordion. It's very original. That's could be very interesting for you to interest composers because it's a way to think the electronic, the sound, this kind of electronic sound is in a way is beautiful. It's only today is could be old, but it's always beautiful. So you can really create your way and interesting composers on it because it's very different, it's very interesting. Beautiful performance and beautiful music, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I want to applaud this amazing performance and thank you, judges, very much for your thorough and wonderful comments. And I really loved that you asked John all these questions. This was, to me, almost like an anthology of the entire music history. What a wonderful way to introduce whoever is curious about what music is to the entire timeline from 16th century to nowadays. I felt like you walked us through the entire history with different styles and different expressions. We are in the final round of the Sound Espressivo competition. Contestants were competing in several rounds over a few months, and today and tomorrow the panel of judges is giving immediate feedback to the contestants, and this is a marathon of the final round. Contestants are competing for the top prizes. Please vote for your favorite finalist who will receive the John Adler Audience Favorite Award, which will be announced at the gala on February 16th, along with the laureates and other winners, and companies will come on board and will be awarding the prizes to the contestants, to the finalists. We will be moving on to our last performer of today, and what an array of amazing musicians and amazing different styles and mediums we heard. We will be hearing from an opera singer, Asmik Arutyunyan from Russia. She was nominated in the academic artistic category, and she will be taking the stage and performing for us in the voice and academic artistic category. Asmik, please take the stage away from me. It's all yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Asmik Arutyunyan and this is my pianist Natalia Gavrilova, and we will sing today for you the Wozzeck Song to the Moon from the Rusalka. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Adrianne, you're muted. Please unmute yourself.
I'm sorry, we can hear you.
No, we lost her. So, Asmik, beautiful performance. I actually have a lot of singing in my life right now. I commissioned a song cycle among 15 composers, and we have a world premiere at Carnegie Hall coming up in March. And I also had the great joy of recording Rusalka back in the orchestral phase of my career with conductors Zdeněk McCall. So I know this piece well. You have a beautiful and expressive approach to it. I really enjoyed it. I would love to hear a little bit more connectedness of the lines through your vibrato. You tend to have the line and then the vibrato comes and the line continues and the vibrato kind of so I would love to see that your vibrato has more of a through line with the connectedness of it. But I love your diction is excellent, really clear and very very understandable. That is, if I understood the language, but very very clear diction. And I love the color in your low range.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, that was a really beautiful passage in your low range, and you have such great, you have great color in all ranges. So I think you can explore that and refine it a little bit more. But it was very enjoyable performance, and congratulations! Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
So I actually would like to comment on the vibrato in a different way. After listening to some auditions just last week, I did not appreciate the amount of vibrato that was continuing with one of the candidates, and it was just very present at all times. And so maybe there's a shift here in my thinking and appreciation. I enjoyed when I didn't hear the constant vibrato. So do with that as you may. I would love to have the last presence last longer. Don't ever feel that we're needing to leave. The audience needs to go take a break. I was ready for, I was hanging on and with you. So do take your time with that. I enjoyed your presence, your expression with your movements, and while you sang, and also when you were not singing, you were into it. And I wish we instrumentalists would not tune out so much when we're not playing. And you have at least the storyline to keep you going. But musically, I don't see why we can't do that more ourselves as instrumentalists. And I enjoyed that in your entire presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That was very beautiful. And first of all, I admire the fact that you're so at ease in front of a camera in a room where there's not an actual physical audience in front of you. It seems very natural for you to perform on media rather than to an actual audience. I enjoyed the range. I enjoyed the quality of the sound. I think vibrato as well is a thing which I'd like to hear a bit more variety in. One of the great joys of singing is vibrato quality, but sometimes I wanted to hear you float a little bit more on a quieter, a bed of sound somehow. With does that make sense? Just
Yes, of course.
a more floated quality of sound sometimes. But I thought basically it was very, very beautiful. You act very naturally, and it was very, very beautiful. It's a marvelous piece of music, and what a gift to a singer to be able to have repertoire of that sort. So thank you. I thought it was very beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate. Thank you.
Hello, Asmik. It was really, really beautiful. You have a very expressive voice, very good intonation, and you're powerful. Also, you can sing very loud, and you are very concentrated and theatrical, because you don't have a costume. You're not on the stage, and so you must really get in the feeling of being on the stage. And I guess it's part of an opera, right?
Yes, it's from Roza.
So normally you're wearing something for the yeah. So you have to visualize that, I guess, when you're singing, to be as theatrical as possible. So congratulations, I liked it very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Asmik. It was really a wonderful performance. I'm a cellist, and once I also played an arrangement of this piece because I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I thought that you really managed to express it very well. I loved your way of communication, and you have a wonderful control over your voice, and I think you can really go places with your voice. What I would perhaps add to what you already have, all that wonderful abilities that you have, is to also perhaps even go more pianissimo or more piano in some places and express that even more. Because I think in this piece she wants the moon to shine on her beloved and to almost bless him in that way. And I think sometimes she also has a very tender kind of feeling in her words, also in the text. Sometimes there are moments where she's so just wants to give it, and some moments where it's almost just like a dream or a thought. And I think maybe one can even express that tenderness also in with the drama and all the grandioso feelings in this aria, to also bring out that beautiful, almost that softness, that tenderness also in the quality. And I think you've got a beautiful, beautiful voice, and I think you can perhaps just explore more in that direction as well, to have even a bigger range, even a more possibility to express it. But it was really wonderful, and I wish you all of the best and lots of success on your career.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really grateful. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much, Asmik, for bringing the opera singing to the radio of today's final session. There was every performance of every contestant today was so refreshing and so eye-opening. It was a great pleasure to finish the session with the opera. And thank you, judges.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, wishing you all the best. Judges, thank you so much for your comments, for being in the program today. And this is not the end of it. The group 26 and older will continue tomorrow with the same judges, and we'll hear more wonderful performances of from professional musicians 26 years and older. Our session is coming to the end right now, and we want to thank very much our audience, musicians, contestants, their support groups, teachers, and everyone who is involved in producing and creating this competition, this virtual stage for musicians from all over the world to connect, to share their art in the real time, and for audience to be able to experience the excitement of the real moment, being in the moment and performing for the audience across the whole world. And we are very grateful to the sponsors of the prizes. Many companies, 19 companies. We have a variety of sponsored prizes which will be awarded to the finalists. The gala coming up on February 6th. That's when the winners and laureates and recipients of the prizes will be announced. And with this, I also want to thank very much incredible team of virtual concert halls, producers, engineers, scriptwriters, and hosts, and everyone on that team are professional musicians who added these incredible skills to their palette over the pandemic. They didn't waste any time being just miserable. These are incredible people with courage, with a wonderful drive to make the future better, make the future more connected, and more music, more people can enjoy and be uplifted by it. With that, I want to say goodbye to everyone and see you in just a couple of hours. It's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. We will move on to the next age group, 15 and 18 and 19 to 25. Thank you all very much. See you again soon. Bye.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressiva Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.